Welcome back to The Express at the 20th Annual Wellness Show in Vancouver. There are a lot of things that fall under the umbrella of wellness, including music. Up next, we meet Burnaby resident Andrew Kim and find out why his mantra is that music is universal.
It just totally blew me away. Like, I had no idea what the instrument was, and I thought it was the most beautiful thing I'd ever heard.
Growing up playing violin and guitar, Andrew Kim never thought he'd one day make a living playing this exotic instrument, but the dreamy music that came from the sitar just spoke to him.
It's like a meditation-inducing sound, almost like a mantra to me. It just it sort of puts my head into a different headspace. It's got 6 strings on top, which are sort of the main strings you play with. And then underneath it has a row of strings down here that you hardly ever actually touch, but it just resonates on its own as you're playing.
Over the past decade, Andrew's been studying sitar extensively, even traveling to India to learn from sitar masters. And as he grew as a player, it became obvious this mild-mannered Korean Canadian has a deep connection to Indian rhythms.
I've received a lot of acceptance from the Indian community. Every time I've played, I've gotten a lot of appreciation from them.
Many of them are fans of his band, Delhi to Dublin, a fusion of East, West, and everything in between. It's given Andrew the opportunity to explore all sorts of sounds, including this modified violin that's been outfitted with an African thumb piano called a kalimba. He also built this Moroccan-style guitar out of a wooden oar, of all things.
You just throw it together and it usually works.
Because Andrew's mantra is that music is universal, and the more he embraced its diversity, the more he grew as a person.
I think it's made me a much more interesting person. And it's become almost a vehicle for my life that's brought me into some very interesting life journeys and adventures that I never foresaw happening.
And for those who think this is all just hippie garbage, Andrew can still play a pretty cool version of Spider-Man. I'm Tim Chung in Burnaby for The Express.
Delhi to Dublin's music incorporates sitar, fiddle, table drums, and electronic music, and they sure throw one party on the dance floor. You're watching The Express, and up next, Quality Assured Collision Road Trip is stepping back in time to learn about Delta and Ladner's past and the value of preserving it for generations to come.
Travel along with us as we explore the many marvelous attractions and activities of beautiful British Columbia on the Quality Assured Collision Road Trip.
We're rolling into the not-so-distant past on a road trip to the Delta Museum.
We are Delta's community museum and archives, so we document, preserve, and present the history of Delta. When you first walk into the building, you're walking into an early 20th century Edwardian home exhibit. The first visual thing you'll see as you walk in is the parlor. And that's certainly the adults-only area, no kids allowed, and it's where the adults would have their conversations, maybe play a little piano and do some reading. Well, of course, in the kitchen, your big stove was the center of the kitchen. Drying your laundry and stew cooking here. You probably have some bread baking down there.
There's a bedroom set up just as it might have looked in this period, a room dedicated to items and toys for children, and the scullery, full of tools used to clean homes in the early 1900s. Also on the main floor is a special temporary exhibit called Prolific Delta.
Because this building is now 100 years old, we thought what we would do is take a look back 100 years ago and show people what the sort of topics of the day, the items of conversation were for Deltans in 1912. So we kind of combed the newspapers from 100 years ago and brought out stories and topics of discussion and things that were important and things that happened in Delta 100 years ago.
And the Delta Museum discoveries continue one floor down.
So this is the exhibit of Ladner's Landing. The two Ladner brothers came and set up shop. This bottom floor is our Ladner Street scene. So what we've done here is done a representation of how Ladner's shops and stores and the inside, the exteriors might have looked, about 100 years ago or so.
And on the top floor, under the original attic roof, are exhibits devoted to turn-of-the-century fishing and agriculture. So much history, so much to discover.
A museum and archives is really the memory of a community. Our mission is to preserve the past, engage the present, and inform the future. I mean, they do talk about those who don't understand the lessons of the past are bound to repeat the mistakes. So we try to use what we've learned in the past to try to inform the important decisions that we'll be making in this community in the future.
In Delta, I'm Kendall Harris for Shaw TV.
Entertaining and informative, the Quality Assured Collision Road Trip. Wednesdays on Shaw TV. Always something new and exciting.
The website is deltamuseum.ca. It's open Tuesday through Saturday, and that special exhibit, Prolific Delta, shows until May 2012. You're watching The Express from the 20th Annual Wellness Show. We have a very special story to share coming up.
Our dogs are very well cared for. We've changed the kennel drastically.
Whistler's new dog sled company and its commitment to care. The Express, we are your local voice.
Community programming on Shaw has been generously sponsored in part by
Hairstyling and color services for Shaw TV, provided by the Lounge Hair Studio. LoungeHairStudio.com.
Welcome back to The Express at the 20th Annual Wellness Show. This is the place to find out the latest about fitness, health, and nutrition. Also on the Living Well stage, there's been a big message about spreading the love. We are definitely opening our hearts with this next story. Last year's horror of a Whistler sled dog company killing more than 100 animals is still fresh in many people's minds. But animal lovers can rest easy. A new dog sled company is mushing in hope.
1 part hikers, 1 part high heels. I'm a mountain girl, always looking for the next adventure. This is where dreams are made. Dreams that are meant to be shared. From peak to valley, from snow to sun. I'm Nicole Fitzgerald, and this is the Fitz List. Doing everything you've ever wanted to do. This is the sound of happy dogs. So rest easy in your sled. What once was horrific has now transformed to hope.
Our dogs are very well cared for. We've changed the kennel drastically of what we've done. We've free-run all our dogs, we've fixed all our males. Generally, our dogs are extremely happy.
Change has been a big part of these dogs' lives recently. They are among the 151 survivors of the Whistler Outdoor Adventures massacre. The company received worldwide condemnation when a suspected 50 to 100 healthy dogs were slaughtered 2 years ago. The sledding operation was gifted to a new charity foundation, and the Whistler Sled Dog Company was born.
We offer dog sled tours for guests. We are owned by a foundation, the Sled Dog Foundation, which all our proceeds go to, and then from there the foundation then allocates the money, the profits of the proceeds to other charities or bettering the life of sled dogs.
Next up is Dumbledore. Dumbledore is just a 4-year-old, pretty crazy, lots of energy. He's going to be doing all the power today, pulling all the sleds.
Asking dog sled musher William Jackson to name his favorite dog is like asking a mother to pick their favorite child.
I have 151 favorite dogs. Smarties, she's getting pretty old. She's almost 8 now. Her name's Smarties because she has 2 different colored eyes. She's part of the chocolate bar litter, so every time we have a litter, we have different themes for each litter. And her litter, like I said, was a chocolate bar, so there's Mars Bar and Score and Twix and Lucky and Smarties. Every single one of them has a different personality, and it's just a great feeling to work with them and see how excited they are and live off their energy.
Okay, So what we're going to do now is harness the dogs.
Okay.
So I'm going to give you a harness right here.
All right.
And I'm going to take a harness as well.
Guests get to experience that energy on an interactive, hands-on tour. There you go, Smarty. A dog aptly named Hurricane excitedly drags me over to the sled.
The dogs love what they do. This is what they're born and bred to. They've been doing it all their life, and it's like when you say walk to your dog, they just get really excited. Same thing with us. As soon as they see that the sleds are out, they're ready to run.
The dogs run us along rivers and landscapes framed with mountain views. But soon my viewing experience shifts from a seated to standing perspective.
To drive dogs, it's very simple. You have your handlebar right here.
Okay.
You can always hold on to your handlebar. You never let go of your handlebar, because these dogs will just go whether you're on the back or not. Next up, you have this nice metal bar here. Very high tech. It's called your brake. All you got to do is slam that into the ground to stop the sled.
Okay.
Then you're going to be standing on your nice runners here and holding on. So as easy as that.
All right. How the tour mushes out is as unique as company aspirations. The Whistler Sled Dog Company aims to become a leader in their field, contributing to the standardization of dog sled operations and raising the bar on sled dog care.
We're looking at doing quite a few different sort of projects. One of them is to sort of create a better living atmosphere for dogs. So we're going to study our kennel and see what changes we can implement to better off their life, as well as we're going to look at their diets. We are going to offer everything that we've studied and learned to anybody that is interested in just listening to us, what we have to say, and take what they can out of it to better off their kennels.
Better kennels means better lives, which means happier dogs and cleaner guests. There's lots of opportunities to interact with the dogs, including when you wrap up the tour at the yurt, the nice hot chocolate and cookie. You may have to share it. Sharing the love is what this company is about, and you only need to look to the dogs to know this tale comes with a happy ending. From Whistler, I'm Nicole Fitzgerald for Shaw TV.
Tours depart from Gone Bakery in Whistler Village. You must be 4 years or older to participate. Dress warm, and Nicole says ski goggles aren't a bad idea. You're watching The Express, and it's time now for our spotlight on local events. Find the latest in innovative products and outdoor living at the BC Home and Garden Show at BC Place. Talk with top industry experts to gain insight and advice on home organization, renovations, and more. Brave New Playwrights is an exciting and long-standing staple on the Vancouver theatre scene. Senior playwriting students team together with senior directing students in a festival of short plays at UBC. Winterruption on Granville Island is celebrating its 7th annual, truly unique Vancouver Winter Festival. The magic is in the mix, celebrating local and international artists of all disciplines. You can also mark your Google calendars for the 21st Annual Vancouver Wellness Show that's happening February 15th, 2013. Thanks for watching The Express, only on Shaw TV.